Brothers and sisters in Islam, all praises are due to Allah who has guided us to be Muslims. All glory is due to Him who has clarified to us what our purpose in life is here on this earth. As Allah tells us, I didn't create mankind and jinn except to worship me. From the greatest and most important acts of worship in Islam is the daily prayer. The first thing a Muslim will be asked about after they die is the 5 daily prayers. If the 5 daily prayers are correct, the rest of the actions of worship are correct. However, if the prayers are incorrect or corrupted, then the rest of the actions of worship are corrupted and deficient as well. The 5 daily prayers can never be abandoned as long as a Muslim is alive and has sound mind and intellect. The 5 daily prayers are the most important pillar of Islam after the testimony of faith. Brothers and sisters, the role that the 5 daily prayers play for the life of the mind, body, and soul are detrimental to the health of one's mind, body, and soul. The 5 daily prayers in regards to how important they are similar to the IV when a patient goes into the hospital or the emergency room. The first thing that the patient gets hooked up to is the IV to give the patient the nutrients they need to survive. Similarly, the first thing that a Muslim gets hooked up to after knowing Allah and taking Shahada is the 5 daily prayers. Many emergency room patients will die if not hooked up to the IV. Similarly, a Muslim will die, losing his religion, his soul, his covenant with his Creator, when he abandons the 5 daily prayers. Just how the IV is the nourishment for the sick body, the 5 daily prayers are the nourishment for the soul, the comfort of the mind, the relaxation of the body. The 5 daily prayers is one of the best acts of worship of Allah, one of the greatest ways to communicate with Him, and the connection to one's Lord and lifeline for the Muslims. Many of us experiencing difficulties, hardships, and problems in our daily life may think about going to a guidance counselor, a psychiatrist, a mentor, or an advisor, but are hesitant because of their expensive fees. Don't you know, brothers and sisters, that we have the best one who can remove our hardships, difficulties, and problems? Who can be our best advisor, provide the best of guidance? And these counseling sessions are free of charge, no fees, no copay. All we have to do is keep our appointments and be there on time. These are the 5 daily prayers for the Muslim. They are like free counseling sessions with the one who has all the answers, Allah the most wise and glorified. Tell Him all of your problems. Share with Him all of your complaints. Convey to Him all of your difficulties, hardships, sadness, grief, and disappointments. He will never be too busy for you. He will never turn you away. He will never hang up or ignore your calls. He will always be there. All you have to do is call upon Him. Furthermore, brothers and sisters, one of the main differences between a Muslim and a non-Muslim is the daily prayer 5 times a day. It is normal that a Muslim may fall into sins throughout the day, but if he is praying 5 times a day, the prayer will call him back to obedience and his minor sins will be forgiven. He won't stray that far away. However, if one leaves the 5 daily prayers, then he will stray far, far away, maybe too far to come back. This is why the Prophet Muhammad said that once a Muslim abandons the prayer, then he leaves Islam. The covenant that stands between us and them is the prayer. Whoever abandons it has apostate disbelieved. The prayer is the most important pillar of Islam after the Shahada, and the first thing we should invite new Muslims to start doing after teaching the proper Tawheed and emulation of the Prophet Muhammad. As the Prophet Muhammad told Mu'adh ibn Jabal when he went to Yemen, let the first thing that you invite them to is the Shahada. If they get to know Allah, then tell them that Allah has obligated upon them 5 daily prayers. Abandoning the 5 daily prayers is a means of misguidance, weakness, uncertainty, mischief, and loss in this world and the next. When the inhabitants of the paradise see the inhabitants of the hellfire, they will ask them, "What caused you to enter the hellfire?" They will reply, "We were not from those who used to pray." Brothers and sisters in Islam, the 5 daily prayers in Islam is of utmost importance. It is a means of success in this world and the next, as Allah the Most Magnificent described His believing servants in the Quran, saying, "The believers have succeeded, those who have focus, concentration, humility in their prayers." Allah told us that the believers will succeed as long as they pray and as long as they are focusing, concentrating, and training themselves to have humility, tranquility, peace, and comfort in their prayers. The Prophet Muhammad used to say to Bilal ibn Abi Rabah, "Call the Iqamah so that we can find comfort in our prayer." And the Prophet Muhammad said, "The comfort of my eyes is in my prayer." May Allah make the 5 daily prayers a comfort for our minds, bodies, and souls, as it was for the Prophet Muhammad and his righteous companions. Join us for more beneficial reminders at Islamic Ministries and Community Development. Visit us online at www.dimacd.org.